in these times of quarantine, the idea of sustainability becomes much more prevalent. And in our house, we're blessed to have a little bit of extra space. We have a few boxes where we grow some vegetables. We recuperate celery. We grow our own shallots. And we also have some chicken. So all the organic waste in our house and in our kitchen is saved separately, and that goes to feed the chickens as part of their supplements, part of their diet. So then we have chickens, and we have a wonderful supply of organic eggs. So what I have done here is I have 2 carrots, 2 potatoes, 2 onions, and we're going to put these in the roasting pan and allow our turkey to sit on top of these vegetables. And what that'll do is that'll create like a rack or a convection movement. So it's really important that when you're roasting poultry, that there's a convection movement of the hot air all the way around. If the turkey is directly in the bottom of the pan, it creates steam and you won't get that beautiful roasting. So then the bottom isn't quite cooked nearly as complete as the top would be. The second thing that we're going to do, and really which is one of the secrets of great roasting, is in the case of poultry, we're going to put the breast side down in a really hot oven, 450 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 30 minutes. This is a big turkey, so at least 30 minutes, breast side down, and then we're going to turn that oven way down to about 325 degrees, and we'll continue a slow roast after that. But breast side down initially, very, very hot oven. After it's been brined, or in our case, we used a dry rub. And then we're going to put the turkey breast side up in the pan and finish it in a much slower oven at a temperature of about 325 degrees. And that should yield you superior results. You know a turkey's done when the juices run clear. So if you were to test it with a thermometer, you'd want it to be about 145 degrees Fahrenheit. If you didn't have a meat thermometer in your kitchen, you could use a kitchen fork or even a knife and dab it right in the thigh or right under the wing. And if the juices run clear, chances are really good that your turkey is cooked. If it's a little wine colory, a little bit red, a little bit pinkish still, it needs a little more time. So that's what we're going to do. We prepared our roasting pan. The last thing I'll do is I'll add about 1 finger length, about a ½ inch of water, so that when the juices and the blood and everything from the turkey starts to fall down, it doesn't burn the pan. And then all of these vegetables will give us a really nice au jus, a gravy, a pan gravy from what's left. So a little bit of water with the vegetables. If I had celery, I would put celery in here as well. Any root vegetables work really well. And then at the end, all these vegetables go to my 4-legged friend. So I'm positive that once he starts smelling the turkey, he'll start spending a little more time hanging out in the kitchen with me because he knows what's coming next. Okay, so here's the turkey. It has a dry rub. It's been refrigerated under proper temperature for about 30 minutes or so. Obviously if you had a roasting rack, you wouldn't need to do this, but I sort of like the complementary flavor element to this. So putting a little bit of water in the pan also helps making the cleaning a lot easier, and your end result is you get a nice pan gravy. So I'm going to take this turkey and we're going to put it breast side down on top of the vegetables. I'm going to put a little bit more rub on the top here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back the wings, and that will help expose the breast a little bit better. So we're literally going to take the wings and we're going to fold them behind the back and push out the breast a little bit. So here we go. And it's already dead. You really can't hurt this thing. So if it makes a couple funny noises, at the end of the day, I think the result is well worth the effort. So this guy's a little bit tougher than normal, but make sure it's not sitting in the liquid, that it has enough vegetables to prop it up and to give it that beautiful convection. That's the key. So really hot oven. It's sitting on top of our vegetables, so there's circulation of the hot air. The breast goes down in the hot oven. This is going to be about 35-45 minutes. Once it starts to get really nice and caramelized on top and the juices start to release, then we're going to take the turkey out, flip it breast side up, and put it back in the oven at a much slower temperature. Turkey's been dry rubbed. It's in the pan. There's a little bit of water at the bottom of the pan so it doesn't burn. Oven's preheated 450 degrees. I took the middle rack out. So here we want to manage temperatures really well. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to set the timer for about 30 minutes and then we're going to go and see what the progress looks like. Try to get it as close to the center of the oven as possible, and if the wings start to get too brown, we can always put a little cap of aluminum foil on the top so that they don't burn. But really the idea is super hot oven. We want to get the temperature to the bones. We want to start releasing the fats and the natural juices, and then we turn the turkey over breast side up at a much lower temperature, and we allow this turkey to baste in the beautiful natural juices, and we will have a superior result. Cheers. So we have about 20 minutes at 450 degrees. Every oven has hot spots and not so hot spots. So what I'm going to do at this point is turn it around 180 degrees and reset the timer for another 20 minutes, and then we'll take it out, flip it over, breast side up, and into the slow oven for I don't know, another 2.5 hours, maybe 3. So it's been about 45 minutes. We can start smelling a little bit of the roasting process. We're going to take the turkey out. We're going to turn her over, and at the same time I'm going to turn this temperature down to about 325 degrees, and we're going to allow this turkey now to slow roast in its own juices. You can see a little bit of the natural juices starting to come out. These turkeys are pretty fat to begin with, so there's a good amount of fat content. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip her over and put her back into the slow oven for another probably 2 hours. So we're just going to flip her over like that. Make sure that the turkey is sitting on the vegetables here. It's suspended up. We've got that beautiful circulation of the hot oven, that hot air going all the way around, and in it goes. Always working with hot ovens, but this time we turned the temperature way down to 325 degrees, and I'm taking about 2 hours or so. So in about an hour and a half, 90 minutes, we're gonna give it a little stick with the ice pick. I'm tucking, as you turn it over, I'm tucking the legs back into this little pocket of skin that also helps protrude the breasts a little bit better. I'm gonna add the, look, see they're already here waiting. I'm adding the hearts, the livers, and the neck to the pan, and then we're going to put this into the oven for a period of time, probably about 90 minutes or so, 325 degrees. Okay, so our turkey's been in the oven for about 90 minutes so far, about 40 minutes at a really high temperature, and another 50 minutes or so at a very low temperature. I think we're about 30 minutes away from finish, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick it in the thighs, and we're gonna watch these juices come out. I need my glasses for this nonsense. And we're gonna see if they're running clear or not. They're still slightly pink, so I'm gonna just give it a few more minutes in the hot oven. And then, yeah, same thing on this side. So it's just slightly pink, just a few more minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes more. I'm gonna baste a little bit with the juices that are on the bottom here. And this will help crisp up the skin even more. And it really helps make this kitchen smell spectacular. So we baked some bread earlier today. We're gonna do some turkey sandwiches with some artisanal bread. So I think everybody is gonna be pretty happy with our results. So I'm gonna put the timer on for another 50, I'll say 20 minutes. And then it needs to rest also. So we're gonna allow it to roast a little bit longer in the oven. Then we're gonna allow it to rest equal time, maybe another 15, 20 minutes. And then we'll get to make some spectacular turkey sandwich. We're ready to finally carve the turkey. It's been a 6-stage process: dry rubs, refrigeration, breast side down, hot ovens, breast side up, very slow ovens, long periods of time. The turkey rests, and finally we're ready to carve this thing. So it's essential that you have all of your equipment and proper materials to carve your turkey. So we have a steel, which will help maintain the edge, keeping the knife sharp. We have our pan for all of our waste product, and then we have our plate where we're going to put all of our properly carved out pieces. Our turkey broken down into pieces, legs and thighs for gumbo, wings and bones for a stock. The breasts will be used for sandwiches and for sliced turkey platters. Okay, so we've broken down our roasted turkey, all the skin, bones, fat pieces, the pieces of the wing, all of that goes into the big pot, and here we're going to make a stock. That stock will be used for some soups and a gumbo in future days. The dark meat, the legs, the thighs, will also be used for the gumbo, and then the beautiful white meat, the breasts, will be used for sandwiches and for sliced turkey platters. And that's how we roast the turkey. Cheers and go Bucks. Oh, one more thing. It's really important to remember that, and I have my friends around here, and I've only given them the vegetables. We're not giving the dogs any turkey, any pieces. The trypamine is not great for dogs. The fat is really, really bad for the dogs, so be careful with that. So my guys, my little fan club here has only been able to enjoy the onions, the carrots, the potatoes that were used in the original roasting process. Okay, so we're gonna make a little wager here with my cameraman. and the loser has to do a chef's challenge. Well, wait till you see what happens tomorrow. Cheers. Go Bucks!